All right, back here with DT Daily and joined now by Mr. Matt Smith. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet. It's Matt Smith. At Matt on Tech on Twitter. So, Matt, thank you for joining us. We're going to be doing something new here for DT Daily. So, we're really enjoying creating and growing this show. So, in just a few minutes, we're going to attempt to play a video game live on the air. Before we interview Hearthstone. Whoa, breaking stuff.
What are you talking about?
Crazy town. Matt, let's talk, though, before that, about what's coming up this weekend. So we're talking about gaming, talking about BlizzCon. Why don't we get just kind of a rundown of what BlizzCon is, for anybody who doesn't know?
Yeah, so BlizzCon, if you don't know what BlizzCon is, then you're probably not going to be super interested. But BlizzCon...
Selling the segment.
But BlizzCon, if you do know what BlizzCon is, then you're probably extremely interested.
Yeah.
It is Blizzard's big convention that they hold every year in Anaheim, California. It's a 2-day thing. For the most part, there's actually like some surrounding events. And it's a really big deal. They sell out of their tickets pretty much instantly every year. And... also, this for us here at Digital Trends, it's one of our biggest gaming events, like in terms of the amount of people who come and visit the site based off it.
Yeah, getting the live reporting as it happens.
Blizzard fans are really stoked about it, and yeah, it's a huge thing. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they unveil.
And Blizzard is, the gaming company, producer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of celebrating their games.
Yeah, it's entirely about them. So, Blizzard is owned by Activision these days, but BlizzCon is Blizzard's own thing. For the most part, they do talk very briefly about some of their games on the Blizzard launcher, if they show up there, but only if they're showing up on the Blizzard launcher, which is kind of a new thing that happened as of last year.
What is the Blizzard launcher?
It's basically just the game launcher like Steam or Origin. And it used to be this for Blizzard games, but if a lot of people out there, if you're gamers, you probably have either played Destiny 2 or Call of Duty. And if you're doing that on the PC, you're doing that actually through the Blizzard launcher now, instead of through like some other, like through Steam or something like that.
So you show up at BlizzCon, and what do people do at it? I mean, you're walking around just taking a look at games, or is it more eSports?
Yeah, if you actually go to BlizzCon, it's a little bit of a different experience, I think. Although I would say I've never been to BlizzCon myself, which is kind of sad for me. I actually was hoping I'm going to go there someday. Someday I'm going to go. Yes, it's a not so subtle hint.
2019's around the corner.
But yeah, if you actually go to BlizzCon, you're not only going to be excited about whatever they announce, but there's also there's a lot of opportunity to kind of to go hands-on with this, or you see your favorite voice actor for the game, maybe in the hall, and you get to say hi, or you go to the parties they have there, or you go to the sessions that they have there, where they'll have these sessions where the game developers will go up and you get to see them talk about the game for a while. Maybe you get to ask a question. So yeah, it's a very and also there's a big thing around cosplay contests and just sort of fandom in general. So, if you're a huge fan, you would definitely bring your A game there.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I love the idea, and I know obviously this isn't a new thing, but just how the gaming industry has kind of adapted that con culture and turned it into their thing. This is one gaming company having their own
BlizzCon's
con.
Been at the leading edge of that.
Yeah.
Really, because BlizzCon's, I don't know how old it is, but it's like 6 or 7 years at this point.
That they've been going on.
I'm probably slightly older than that because I tend to underestimate how old things are these days. So yeah, they were one of the first companies to really say we're going to have our own convention, and then to make that a thing consistently year over year and not have it go away. So
taking a look here in the chat, there's definitely a lot of comments that are going on, but I am curious for everybody who's watching live, have you gone to BlizzCon? Is this something you're going to be going to, and what are you most excited about from it? I know, just talking about some of the big games, obviously, World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft is always a big one. They're probably going
Did you play World of Warcraft, or do you currently?
I don't right now. I didn't like the last expansion very much, but I was playing quite frequently up until about a month ago.
What was your handle?
My main character is named Harry.
Oh, that's it? Harry?
Yes.
How'd you get the tag Harry? Did you just log in really early? Nobody else had that?
No, I cheated and added an I to the end of it.
Okay.
And then it's fantasy Harry.
That's your new nickname for the show is Fantasy Harry.
And he's a druid, so you know he transforms into like a cat or a bear, so it's a little bit of a joke.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, World of Warcraft is definitely going to be a big thing. There's going to be an announcement about what's coming in the next patch. There's definitely some rumors about they might just say at BlizzCon that the patch is going to be available like now or next Tuesday, which is usually patch day, because it's been long enough at this point that we would expect one of the larger patches to come through. It's been like 76 days since the Battle for Azeroth expansion released, so that's looking like it's very likely. Even if it's a couple weeks away, you know, they are going to talk a lot about that, about all the like changes they make, whatever like new mounts and skins and whatnot are available, what the new content's going to be. So that'll be a big one.
So that's a lot of the stuff that they announced. That's just the World of Warcraft side, and then obviously with Overwatch, I mean, huge.
Yeah, and also with World of Warcraft, I should mention there's WoW Classic,
which is
the reboot of the original, and that's going to be playable. So that's a whole other thing. People will actually be able to play it even if they're not at BlizzCon. So that's probably going to be pretty huge.
Okay.
Yeah, moving on to Overwatch. Overwatch is probably going to be a little bit less stuff to announce, but there are rumors of a new hero being revealed at BlizzCon, and that seems pretty likely. Usually at BlizzCon for Overwatch, they're going to reveal like either a hero or a map.
Okay.
So, and the new hero is looking more likely.
Okay, and that's the Overwatch news. I do see there's somebody in here already smack talking you. So Abraham just said on Facebook, see, that's your problem. You chose a druid, and you should have chose Ares. So
chose who?
Ares?
Ares?
Or maybe that was misspelled. Obviously, I'm a huge World of Warcraft player. Clearly, I know what I'm talking about.
I don't think that's a World of Warcraft thing.
Okay. Well, either way, your problem is you chose a druid.
I'm not actually like a real life druid, just to be clear. We are talking.
If we want to specify that, no, he's Fantasy Harry. All right. All right. So let's so we have Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone expansion.
Hearthstone might be an expansion. I mean, probably more of a tease than anything else.
Hearthstone. We did have Disguised Toast on last week.
Yeah, huge Hearthstone player.
Hearthstone.
And I'm not as familiar with Hearthstone these days, but like they do put out expansions quite regularly for that game. So probably an expansion tease is a pretty good bet. It would be interesting to see exactly how much they talk about Hearthstone this year, because that's a pretty mature game at this point. And I don't know, like I'm not quite sure if it's like still super popular like it was, or if it's maybe declining a little bit. We'll see.
See where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going over some of the announcements and some of the things to look forward to at BlizzCon, and we'll have the full recap. We've got actually, I think Felicia's down there. Is going to be there at BlizzCon.
She is flying there today.
Reporting live from it.
I'm not sure if she's there yet, but she will be arriving shortly, yeah.
And that's follow everything, of course, at digitaltrends.com and on Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, everywhere that we'll be posting videos. Esports are another huge part of everything.
Oh, man, yeah. Esports are a pretty big part of BlizzCon. It's not something you hear a ton about if you don't pay attention to BlizzCon fairly closely, but they do have tons of tournaments there. And that's a big part of the experience. If you do go to BlizzCon, you can go to BlizzCon and you can watch, some of the tournaments, attend some of these events. So they're going to have tournaments for basically every game that has a competitive element. World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch. And probably the Overwatch stuff is, I'm guessing, going to be the biggest thing. But, the World of Warcraft PvP stuff is also pretty popular. Especially at BlizzCon, that's something that I don't think that World of Warcraft PvP esports is something that like everyone really gets into and watches. Like, kind of the problem is that you really have to play the game to understand what is going on.
Yeah.
But it does have a really dedicated audience, and that's going to be the audience at BlizzCon. So, in any case, if you are getting the BlizzCon virtual ticket, you can watch,
it all.
Stuff. I'm also pretty sure like you're going to see some streams on Twitch for that.
Oh,
sort
I
of
would
thing.
imagine. Yeah. That you'll